The New York Jets master plan is being executed as Darren Mougey is proving that he is one of the best executives the Jets have had in a long time. After looking at multiple moves that he's made this season, we are now seeing that Mougey has been the culprit of multiple robberies for this New York Jets team. We're going to go over exactly how Darren Mougey has been pulling off absolutely excellent moves, and also, as we are seeing, we have more than one future star on this Jets team that is going to have a huge implication on the free agency decisions and offseason moves that the Jets ultimately will be making in just a couple of months, and we're going to go over all of it, because guys, the Jets, they're 2-9 right now. Obviously, they're fighting for as high of a draft pick as humanly possible so the team can go out there and try to find their future quarterback, the man who will hopefully turn this thing around. But on top of that, there's other moves the Jets are going to have to make as well, as this is still a team that gave up Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, guys who were staples on this Jets team and on this Jets defense were traded away. 3 defensive starters were traded off of the Jets. And when all that happened, it felt like things were not going to get anything but just much worse. And instead, things have gotten better for the Jets. We have instead seen the Jets go out there and start to show so much promise with these young guys who Darren Mougey got, who were more than anything the afterthoughts of multiple different trades. But guys, before we fully jump into everything, if you're part of that percentage that is not subscribed, make sure to go ahead and subscribe if you're part of that 70%. But let's jump right into the video, because there is a lot to talk about on the Jets right now, because guys, we have found future stars on this Jets team. As mentioned here by Zach Rosenblatt, we're going to go to full screen to show this. The Jets roster now has a lot of holes going into next year without question. But Darren Mougey deserves praise for the work he did on the margins, or between the margins on trades, with Harrison Phillips, who has been a solid starter, a leader, and run stopper, who's under contract in 2026 with just a $7.5 million cap hit. Ja'Wan Briggs, who seems to be getting better in each passing week and looks like a future star for the Jets, one of my favorite guys throughout this team this season. He has shown some real potential as a pass rusher, looks like a keeper, exclusive rights for a free agent in 2026, aka he's not going anywhere. Jarvis Brownlee, who's had his ups and downs, but at his best has shown some real potential. Now, he brings a lot of energy, is a good tackler, and likely their nickel corner next year, taking over for Michael Carter, who got traded for none other than John Metchie, who had 2 touchdowns in 2 straight games, making plays, getting open, and if this keeps up, he's an option in the slot next year and is set to be a restricted free agent, meaning the Jets will retain him, and Adonai Mitchell, where the athleticism is undeniable. He gets open a lot and still needs to see how he handles more targets, but the talent is there with a $1.46 million cap hit in 2026. So when we look at this right now, what we see is a New York Jets team that has gone out there and has improved on the margins, brought in young talent, and then Harrison Phillips as well, who's not young, but still someone who is reliable and looks like a starting defensive tackle, which is absolutely huge for this team. When we look at the Jets, we know there were a few different areas where they had to get better. And honestly, guys, so many of these guys have shined. Ja'Wan Briggs has now started 2 games with the Jets, has 3 sacks already, and 10 tackles on the year with a forced fumble. Briggs has been excellent since stepping into a bigger role when Quinnen Williams got traded. And that's not all. We saw John Metchie and A.D. Mitchell both have respectable games. John Metchie more than respectable. John Metchie had a very good game last week for the Jets, had a touchdown, had 65 receiving yards on 6 receptions, was handling volume well, was moving well, and also scored a touchdown for the 2nd straight week with the Jets right now. Metchie has been an absolute robbery and a half for the Jets when they traded Michael Carter for him, as they now spend less money on a guy who's been awesome, and Aaron Glenn loves him, saying he had an ACL. He fought a battle with an illness, and he's come back from all of those things. Success is in his future. No matter what he does, I'm not surprised at the success he's having right now. And Glenn continued and showed that this is coming off the work that Metchie's doing, saying there's a lot of people who don't see what he does behind closed doors. He's here every morning at 6 o'clock in our indoor catching 300 balls. The man is going out and he's doing the work. And this is what Aaron Glenn wants to see. When you look at a guy like Metchie, you see a guy who is an underdog, who's grinding, who has a chip on his shoulder and a point to prove, 2 things which he is doing in aggressively impressive style. Right now, he's been the Jets' best receiver with Garrett Wilson out with an injury. Wilson might not play for the rest of the season. If he does not play, then John Metchie will continue to be the #1 target on the Jets. And yeah, he'll be in the slot, but still, knowing that you have a slot receiver like John Metchie, who really does have a future with this team, is absolutely excellent to see going forwards. Metchie is proving that he belongs and is showing that he is going to be a very cheap option as the Jets wide receiver 3 next season. Meaning they have more money to spend on another veteran receiver, something that we did recently talk about. Go check out that last video I did. While also, on top of that, we also see a Jets team that more than anything, they're getting these guys who are under the radar, and they've been hitting. Brandon Stevens in free agency, he was a hit. Jawan Briggs now. John Metchie. A.D. Mitchell looks good. These guys look very good. Harrison Phillips a steal for a late round draft pick. Right now, Darren Mougey has been incredible at finding diamonds in the rough. He is finding hidden gems for this team, and it is working so incredibly well. Now, yeah, they're not winning games. Again, they're 2-9. We know how this season's going. We know how this season's going to continue to go, and nobody is thinking anything differently. We understand that, but at the same time, what we're seeing is the New York Jets go out there and start to seriously show some real improvement, showing that they are going to try to be turning this thing around and that it could be coming sooner than we think. Fans are absolutely loving Metchie as well, with Aaron Rodgers saying, man, it's been awesome to see John Metchie playing like this. He's been through a lot. John Metchie is fitting into that Jeremy Curley, Jameson Crowder role beautifully. Now, NYJ Matt mentioned that it's nice that the Jets can actually evaluate their players with Tyrod Taylor under center, and that John Metchie is good. And at the same time, seeing Ricky Brugel saying, brother, I cannot wait to see Garrett Wilson and John Metchie on the field together. And that's the thing. There's things to be excited about as a Jets fan right now. There's young players to be excited about. It feels like if this team gets a competent quarterback, Wilson and Metchie are a great duo, a duo that you add a veteran to. On top of that, the defense, you want to add more to that defensive line, but seeing Briggs perform is excellent. You do want to add someone else. I love the idea of John Franklin Myers coming back in free agency. That's something I would love to see the Jets do. And then you keep going with this Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald pass rush duo, and maybe you add more pass rushing in the draft at some point as well to supplement that, or sign a veteran pass rusher as well just to put some more pressure on these QBs. Obviously, the Jets need another defensive back. In fact, they need two. They're going to need some safety help, especially the strong safety, which will be probably a new player going into next season. I don't imagine Andre Sisco will be back. And they're going to need someone to replace Sauce Gardner long term. If it's not Azariah Thomas, then they will have to find someone else. But they definitely need to look at some corners, some safeties in the draft as well, which I expect them to do. But right now, honestly, guys, where we are at with Darren Mougey, I think every single New York Jets fan should be thrilled with this. Mougey is doing an excellent job for the Jets right now. And we even see, look at the guys who are on this stock report that Rich Samini did. First of all, I stuttered the first time because I was thinking about Breece Hall shouldn't have lost stock. Yeah, he fumbled the ball. It happens. He's a running back. But look at the guys whose stocks went up. John Metchie, Jawan Briggs, Harrison Phillips were 3 of the 4 names. Jamie and Sherwood, who Mougey re-signed. The other 3 who Mougey brought in. The guy's looking good, man. He's looking good at this, and we should be really excited about that, and we should be very excited about the draft as well, because remember, he drafted Armand Membo, who in reality should be the offensive rookie of the year. Not going to be because he's a lineman, but in all seriousness, the man's playing like an 8-year veteran tackle. He's one of the best tackles in the AFC, so just had to throw that in as well. Darren Mougey's good at this thing. He really is. I believe. I'm starting to feel optimistic. It's a weird feeling. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Jets.